There we go. All right. Go ahead and get my move in so he can't back down. Argentinian player. He's played a fair amount of chess. Okay. So this is exactly the game I got last night so far. I think usually they play knight c3 here, although last night I saw f4. Kind of funny that this is giving him a think. I wouldn't really... Like, if he plays this line, I would think that surely he's seen e6 before. Okay. So I'm tempted to just play d5. I mean, it seems like a good idea just to back his bishop off that square. Establish a pawn duo in the center. I think I'm going to do that. And then, yeah, obviously take here. And then in my game last night, I got hit with this check. And it ended up being fine. Yeah, so I can even... Now I'm a little bit tempted to just play my bishop here, and then I'm threatening c4, trapping his bishop. I mean, that might be worth considering. He would have to take a tempo to address that issue. And I do get to develop a piece, albeit not to a great square. I think I'm going to try it. It just seems like a way to kind of test him early. Oh, that was actually a horrible move on my part. I completely overlooked that he could have just taken my pawn. But now this is just trapping the bishop. Yeah, so a mistake on my part. I feel like I miss those kind of moves a lot where I'm moving a piece, but I'm disrupting the connection between two of my other pieces. For some reason, I find it really easy to miss those kind of moves. Okay, so probably just bishop e7. And I guess he'll just win 2 pawns for his piece. I can prevent that with blocking with the queen. That would force the exchange of queens, all but force it. And then he would only be winning 1 pawn. Okay, so let's just say bishop e7, bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes. So what's my follow there? I suppose I just develop as planned. I mean, maybe I get into some trouble with my rook and this loose pawn. maybe not. Yeah, I mean, if I trade queens, I think I'm just up a piece for a pawn. I do kind of give away the center, but I'm up a piece for the pawn. And I just don't know if that's... I mean, it might be nice to... I should have an advantage either way, so maybe I want to keep my queen around as an attacking piece. Like, maybe trading off queens is beneficial to him. So, but if queen here, I would assume he takes... Does he take first? It may not matter. Let's say he takes, I recapture with my bishop. Then here, or here, takes. I'm developing a... I get to develop this bishop, I think, either way. I think I'm just going to go this way. I feel like positionally it's not that much of a difference, but I'm just saving a pawn. Yeah, now it doesn't matter. Oh, no, okay, it absolutely matters. Because if I had taken with the queen, if I traded queens, he would take with the bishop. Okay. So now I just have a great game. Yeah, I mean, I think I probably am just fine with... I mean, I would like to keep the bishop pair. Is bishop f5 a good move? It would potentially be trading off the c pawns. The only move that would kind of hold everything, and maybe it's a good move to play just as a kind of consolidation move, is just bishop to e6. Yeah, I guess theoretically I shouldn't want to trade off pawns because I want to be able to use my extra piece to promote a pawn in the endgame. Okay, I've convinced myself about this move. And like if he tries to go here or here and pile up on the pawn, I think I would just push. Okay. Obviously a tempting move is f6, but then my knight has nowhere to go. I could try to go ahead and bring this knight in and just trade off this good knight. But again, overall, I don't know that I want to be doing too much trading. There's also knight here. Okay, I'm thinking just knight here so that I'm just ready to castle. and this square looks pretty good for my knight. I can even go here to initiate this trade. Yeah, that takes away, well, somewhat takes away that square. Actually, that square wouldn't have worked. It would have dropped this pawn. Okay, I think I just want to castle. Yeah, I'm not... I mean, is it worth keeping his knight out? Maybe. Yeah, maybe that is better, just to kind of keep him stunned a little bit. There, and then I'm looking at getting ready to play b5. I think I kind of like that. Maybe he still has this kind of an idea. Okay, I'm gonna... Maybe this is a little timid, but I'm gonna play it. Down on the clock, as always. So next order of business, yeah, I saw that move, but I'm not entirely sure that it's a problem. You do have maybe some interesting ideas. Knight here. He couldn't... Could he take? I don't... No. Yeah, knight there. He couldn't take because when I take back, I'm hitting... I'm up a piece, and we each have a piece hanging. So knight there. He moves his... Let's say he takes. Then I'm getting a bishop for a knight. I keep the bishop pair. Knight here. I think it's the same story. Takes. Actually, that's even worse. Because then I have to No, I wouldn't have to retake. I could take here. He could get out of trouble, though. I think if any of these work, it seems like knight to g4 works best. But again, do I want to trade is the question. I could also just put the question to him. Maybe that's a useful move. Anyway. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do that for now. I'm happy for him to trade this way if he wants, I think. Like, I don't know if h6 is that beneficial yet, but I'm hoping that, like, maybe in an endgame it'll, my pawn's moved forward a little bit. Yeah, now I'm up a piece for a pawn, and I've just got the bishop pair. Okay. I mean, I guess I want to keep my bishop pair that I've worked so hard to get, so maybe just bishop here. Yeah, and then I can look to play f6, shoot his knight away that way. And maybe I'm watching this square, like if he gets a knight there and it's too powerful. This is kind of funny. You don't see that often. I guess I gotta find a way to bring this knight, like... Man, how do I even get this knight, like, up here? I guess I want to just take that. I mean, it lets him activate his rook is the issue. Oh, no, I guess better is just b5. Yeah, that looks better. That does give up this square. Yeah, maybe I don't want to give up that square so easily. Yeah, I don't know that I like that. So I activate his rook. But it doesn't seem like maybe it's not so bad. Okay, I'm gonna take and keep the material. As expected. Now I was thinking just a kick here. That does block in my bishop, but it gets rid of his strong knight. If he goes here, maybe I would consider giving the bishop pair to... that gives him a duo. I mean, it's doubled, but maybe it's not that bad. Yeah, I think I like this. Oh no. No, that would actually give up this, which I don't want. A flaw with h6 several moves ago. Okay, so then the other pretty sensible way to go about this, I guess, would just be to develop this knight and get rid of his knight that way. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And I don't see a benefit in taking with my king. Maybe it's not awful to take with the king. Okay, now I'm attracted to just bringing that guy over. I guess he just plays c4, which is maybe a useful move anyway. Then would I have b5? Maybe I'll just castle and try to get the rooks working. That seems like the quickest way to get the rooks activated. One positive of the rook here is that I think it would prevent this fully. He would just lose a pawn. But I don't think I mind that much. Yeah, so he does get that move in anyway. Now, what happens here? I guess he would defend that way. I'm also looking at maybe like rook f to d8 to eye this pawn. But, I mean, I guess d5 is probably his next move. So maybe I could just preempt that. Or, well, no, that doesn't really work. I was going to see if there was some way to get at this rook. Okay, I think I still like this idea. Just get out of the way of that. And no matter how he defends, I might just follow this way. To add a little pressure. Yeah, I think I like that. Looking at like if he goes here, I don't think that works because of this. Hmm. Well, I can just win my pawn back. Take here. Um, well, Will I also win a pawn this way? I don't like activating his other rook too, is the thing. So I was looking at take this way, he takes, and then like knight here. I think I still win a pawn that way because he can't defend this pawn. And I don't open up his rook that way. Yeah, and then I'm even hitting this pawn. Okay, I'm going to try that route. Well, I should look at takes, takes, takes. Okay, that way I'm hitting his knight, and I'm keeping my bishop. Okay, I think I like that idea. Just quickly checking again. I don't see much trouble that he can drum up. Knight here, like rook here. Does that... No, I mean, I could just move my bishop, and I'm still threatening all this stuff. Maybe he just has rook here. I think I still win this pawn at the end. Yeah, yeah, I'm still gonna get something out of this. Knight here isn't really a big deal. Yeah, so now I was thinking just bishop here, and I'm on this pawn and this pawn. Yeah, I suppose that is the way to continue. So yeah, I think at the end of this, I'm gonna get my pawn back and just be up a clear piece. See if I can turn that sound off. It's a little irritating. Oh, okay. Okay. I just win. I take here with check. Then I take here, he takes back, then I win this pawn with tempo. That's got to be pretty good. Okay, so I think just take and then I win a pawn. I suppose I could also throw in this to threaten checkmate. He would just take, and then after I take, he gets out of everything. Yeah, it'll just require some care, but this all looks pretty good. Maybe now get the rook active. Takes, takes. I still have a tempo because I'm threatening the back rank check. Checkmate. Yeah, and I definitely want to trade down at this point. I didn't notice this, but it's important to notice that, yeah, that move he's not threatening my knight at all. Because I still have this back rank mate. He is threatening this pawn, however. I think I want to just bring this guy here to defend the pawn. Could also just push. Look to trade again. Yeah, I think I like just pushing best. Well, hmm. Yeah, I'm going to push. Yeah, and I assume just taking is fine here. So now he makes a threat of taking this. I was looking at maybe just rook here. Get ready to double. It would be nice to defend this pawn. It's like knight here, rook here, or knight here, let's say rook here, knight here, rook here. I think I'm going to go here. Defend that pawn for now. Then I'll go here, I think, and just threaten to trade pawns. Is that best? Yeah, I think he just maybe he loses a pawn there. No, I guess he can defend. Yeah, and I can just fork him and win that pawn. That seems pretty nice. Thinking maybe rook to a2. Try to pressure here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Like, he can double in the 7th rank, but I think I'm... Oh, I just dropped... Oh my god. Okay, I think that's still okay. Because I can go here. And I don't know how he remedies that situation. Because he can't come here to defend. Okay, I think I'm still okay here. If he checks me, I just have h7. Yeah, I mean, that definitely makes things a lot more complicated, though. I don't know how did I miss that? Yeah, I guess I just saw him as capturing and didn't even notice the threat that came with it. That's just a horrible oversight. Okay, I can take with check. Yeah, that was forced. Does this check lead anywhere? Check here. Hmm. Things are still unclear to me. I guess I can check here and then eventually trade rooks. Maybe that's okay. Let's try that plan. Let's see where he goes. Yeah, actually I can just trade rooks right away, right? Going here, x-rays this pawn. Should I throw in this check first? Or should I... Maybe I should move up first and just give myself a little bit of breathing room. Then he can get out of it. Okay, I'm going up. I'm worried about some kind of my king getting mated down here if I didn't do that. Yeah, so he gets out of that. But maybe I can force a trade this way. Doesn't help that I'm super low on time. Can't push, that pawn's pinned. Let's go here. I would expect here, but I can come to the second rank with some threats. His rooks are passive. This is why you don't just drop a knight for nothing. Actually, can his rook even get out of this predicament? Or can I just eventually... Oh, that's a way to stop it. Maybe move my king up. Moving the king up seems like it should be good. Well, yeah, let's just do that. If he checks, I'll block with my pawn. Okay, he's trying to open me up. I don't think that I mind just going here. And if we trade, we trade. I would recapture this way so that I have some shelter from his rook. I was thinking rook over to the H file so that my king can always hide there. Yeah, that doesn't seem bad anyway. Mm. Ah, okay, let's just do that. This check worries me a little bit. think I just need to defend the pawn this way if he decides to go after it. Or maybe bringing this rook is better. Yeah, I think I like that rook better so that the other rook stays on the h-file. Threatening to trade rooks, I'm okay with that. I think just push. It's fine. I need to stay on that pawn. So maybe here or just up. I don't know that it makes a whole lot of difference. Actually, I wish I'd gone here so this rook would be watching that pawn. That pawn. So I'm going to go here now, I think. Or can I start throwing in some checks, maybe? Here, he goes to that file, there. Okay, I don't have a whole lot of time to work this out. I think just here. Okay, I'm going to go here just to take that check away from him. Okay. That is all fine. This is probably an endgame that I should know. I would just sooner or later have to work. I need to cut his king. So I'm going to play here. Confine him to those ranks. And then I think I want to be active. Yeah, with my king. Well, he's not going to trade rooks, I'll tell you that. But now I can get kind of a lawnmower thing going. And now he can only check me for so long. This is just delaying the inevitable. Do that. Okay, so much more difficult than that should have been, given that I won a piece pretty early on. Although I won the piece purely by accident, I should have lost a pawn. But I suppose a win's a win. I found the moves that I had to find at the end, so let's take a look at that. I'd love to get some feedback on this layout for the analysis board. I was kind of playing with this earlier. I don't really know what I want to do with it. I guess we'll go ahead and just get the computer's thoughts, but I do want to go back through the whole game. So Sicilian, and then I think this is the Bodler attack, which I've been seeing more and more lately, and I just have it kind of memorized by now that e6 is a good reply, which makes total sense just to, shut down his bishop on that diagonal. Yeah, that I didn't think was a very, very trying reply. Apparently queen e2 is the master move here. I don't know that I've had anyone play that against me. Defends the bishop, which is, I guess, good. It seems like d5's coming no matter what white... Well, I take that back. What I see most frequently is knight c3, which eliminates d5 for the time being. So that was kind of what I was expecting. Knight f3 doesn't seem like it does anything good. Yeah, I don't... I've played... I think almost 2,000 games of chess now, and I don't think I've ever had an endgame that was just 2 rooks versus 1 rook. So I knew it was winning, but I didn't know if there was I'm sure there is a certain method that is best that I was just unaware of. But okay, so now the computer analysis is saying already I'm a little bit better, or at least even. And then this one blip is where I blundered a pawn, and he didn't see it and blundered his bishop. And looks like I actually played fairly well from there, but I do want to go through the whole thing and just see what ideas I missed. So I wasn't so sure about that move because I saw that his bishop was already getting low on squares, and I guess I just got tunnel vision here because I saw okay, if I can eliminate this square, then I can trap his bishop like this. And that was the only thing I was focused on. I forgot to make sure that any move that I made wasn't, bad for some other reason. So, yeah, I just missed that. Now I'm just dropping this pawn. So, I really deserve to be playing the whole game from behind, but I guess luckily for me, he didn't see it. And he also didn't see my idea of trapping his bishop, so yeah. It one's a little bittersweet when your opponent blunders a piece on move 6. But... Okay, and I debated here for a while whether I should block with my queen or my bishop, because I thought that blocking with my queen, I was saving a pawn. The computer's saying that was inaccurate. I should have blocked with the bishop. I guess keeping the queens on is just advantageous overall. I really dislike when my opponent just has open attacking lines. So I guess I was a little bit leery of this kind of a position. I mean, yeah, I'm up a piece, but I should probably just be happy with that. I do have a pretty simple plan, I think, of just get castled and, you know, my extra piece should tell. But I thought that by moving the queen here, I'm taking out his idea of being that second pawn for the piece. Which did transpire. Yeah, so it says he shouldn't initiate the queen trade. I guess it's a kind of minor difference. I mean, I'm ahead either way, obviously. Yeah, and then I don't know if there were too many super interesting positions from here. Because, yeah, I was just up the rest of the way. I guess I'm going to try out this learn from your mistakes function. I've done that a few times. Yeah, so obviously that was a bad move. I guess a better move was probably just knight f6. Yeah, okay. And then it wasn't until here that I made another mistake, apparently, or another big mistake. And this is where I just dropped my knight for nothing. So, yeah, probably just knight here. Okay, it says, I think it's going to say I can do better. Okay, it liked it. I was also looking at, like, knight here to go ahead and start adding pressure, but I thought he would just kick me. I guess I can just anchor with g5. I didn't appreciate that. And yeah, it says that's the only really egregious mistake, I guess. So I guess I got a little bit worked up over nothing in terms of the tension in the end game. I mean, maybe it's for the best. I always had this sense of like, one mistake and I'm either, you know, changing a win to a draw, or if it's a bad enough mistake, I might just hand him the game in the end game. So I was a little worried about that the whole way, but I guess I had maybe a little bit more margin for error than I suspected. Even after I dropped the knight, it says I'm just way up. I wonder if like this is really the only move that preserves a pretty big advantage. Oh, I need to get out of this mode. Yeah, it says anything other than rook e to e2, and it's not as clear. Only about a pawn and a half. So still better for black for sure, but Lichess is they threw me off when they like redid this analysis graph. Like I feel like this is only a 3-point advantage here, but I feel like this gap is like much bigger than it used to be for a 3-point advantage. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for me tonight. So I hope everyone has a good evening.